Yes, guys, welcome to the first episode of the Everything Football podcast with me, myself, Tom, and Joe. So today this podcast is just gonna be about basically talking all things football, previews, um, reviews of the week, and also just the big news stories in football this week. And what an episode to start off with. We've got some big news this week. I'd say this week, Joe, aren't we? Because it's
Yeah,
for a first thing we got is obviously Roman Abramovich and Chelsea, and the saga with that all to do with World War Three, and well, I say it's basically like World War Three, but we've got
in that way.
obviously, yeah, we've got that, um, and Chelsea obviously we've heard on the time of recording this, Roman Abramovich has actually come out with a statement last night and said about say selling the club. And me being a Chelsea fan, it's not great because we've had our best year under him, our best era. So it's not looking too good. I mean, for starters, I don't really know. I mean, there's obviously rumors that Abramovich did have links with Putin. I don't know how much that, like how much, like how strong the links are. Whatnot people are saying, you know, he's like been funded the money by Putin. Rumors going around, but for him to sell, it is a bit like sketchy. I think. I mean, don't you think? Can you say
How much is Lee looking for? So,
he's looking for three? I think three. He's saying 3 billion. The club for 3 billion, and obviously, like there's this Swiss owner coming in for who's about 87 Vice, I think his name is. Can't remember his first name. Vice, and apparently looking to what's I think he Ted something. Ted, I can't remember, but he's got 20% in the Lakers. So like the Sukkot Stormium coming. So like for me, it does not look good because I think our club is going to get run as we've seen in the Premier League, where you have obviously the owners, such as the Glazers. Like for Joe, you obviously support United, so many people complain about the Glazers there for not being run properly, and people like Edward Wood and stuff. And I think Liverpool fans don't really like SFG, so I don't know too much about that. But I think there's quite a few fans that would rather FSG out. And also Arsenal fans, Kroenke,
yeah,
been wanting him out for years. So, I mean, to begin with, this is just like with all this ownership and stuff, American owners, I don't think they don't understand um, the British game, should I say, the English game, because I mean, like I said, I think most of them would rather it be like a Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know what you think, but like, it ain't
most
good.
most Americans call it soccer anyway. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so as I said, obviously it's to do with Abramovich. Is obviously this week has been under pressure from the politicians, the MPs and stuff, calling for him to basically get his sanctions and stuff with his links to Putin. Um,
I want his money seized or something like that as well.
yeah, like I said, seized. Obviously, then so that was like Monday. We're recording this on the uh Wednesday, Thursday, not Wednesday. I think then Tuesday he has Tuesday there was more sort of like him saying rumors of him saying his like 152 million pound house in Kensington, stuff like that. So I don't think so it like looks quite dodgy, doesn't it? But
Yeah,
I mean I don't think as I say, for me, I think he's one of the best owners in the Premier League. I mean, he's not like, as I said, with these other owners you get, you don't know. Like he actually does care about the club. He hasn't like ever like he's not like used it for his own money for other companies and stuff like that. So like as I
yeah,
say, like Kroenke has um used his money for the Rams, and obviously that's why a lot of Arsenal fans don't like it. And he doesn't spend big, and they've complained he doesn't spend big on on their players. But and obviously the Glazers, from your point of view, I mean, what would you say on like the Glazers and stuff? Like, what would you say about why you don't like them?
They just keep the money, just don't spend it. They don't actually care about the club either.
Yeah,
Not like Abramovich, he actually cares about Chelsea.
yeah, and I think as well it hurts because, like I say, he's put money into the academy, the women's team,
Yeah,
as well as that he makes sure like he's done the anti-Semitism stuff like on his own back and like, well, it's seemed that Russia, they don't really like all that kind of stuff. So for him to put it on his own back and stuff like that, I think, shows he's not. I mean, he probably does have links. Obviously, there is photos with him with Putin, but I don't think, I don't think he's that bad. And obviously, he's been pressured by the government to sort of sell up really, and that's why I think he sold up because he knows he's going to probably get sanctions. Obviously, I don't know too much into it, but I think he's been made to sell up, and unfortunately, that's the problem now. And he's an amazing 20 years. All I've known is Roman Abramovich from like since bought Chelsea. That's all I've known success. I was not there with like Ken Bates beforehand or anything like that, or in the should we say bad times. But I obviously know now that, as I said, all I've known is success. So it's gonna be a bit weird without Roman Abramovich as well, because I don't think it's ever going to be the same, because I reckon we're going to
bad
get
times could come back.
I think someone's definitely going to I don't like the sound of this Swiss guy at all with a load of other people coming in. It just doesn't sound right. And obviously this main breaking story this week about, obviously because of what's going on in Russia and Ukraine with the conflicts, a lot of people are unhappy. I mean, you've got obviously there was, as I said, he was getting pressured, and there was reports in the news saying about that that he's going to be looking for potential buyers maybe, and he might have a chance to sell up. And then a day later has come out that he's about 6 o'clock yesterday night, 7 o'clock, he's sold up, or saying he's going to sell. So I've seen something today as well. Actually, I read that March 15th is the deadline. That's what the Telegraph are reporting. But I don't know how many investors are. I mean, there's 3 from Europe, 3 from America or something like that, and 1 from Europe. So,
there's reports that Conor McGregor's potentially interested as well.
Yeah, I don't know how true that is, because Chelsea, I don't know how true, but I saw something earlier, a post saying about how Chelsea basically said if we win some angry Irishman, we call up Roy Keane for manager. So I don't know. I don't think I don't think there's any chance Conor McGregor has 3 billion to his name, unless he has some sort of massive his own consortium or something like that.
I'm pretty sure he's a United fan anyway. So
that's what I think. I'm pretty sure I've heard that somewhere. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that from somewhere. But so you've got all that, and obviously it's just not been great for Chelsea. Obviously, I don't think it's been good for us. We've had the League Cup final we lost Sunday, and that's when the first proper reports came out, or rumours came out, that something like this would happen. And then you've had obviously we played Luton last night in the cup, and
it wasn't a convincing performance.
Yeah, it wasn't convincing. I mean, strikers are just at the moment not firing at all. I don't know what's up. I mean, but with that over their head as well, with all that news coming out, it's not great. But I guess you have that mix of, obviously, with that as well, we have to talk about as well is the what's happening, what it's doing to footballers, all this conflict, because there's players that I can't remember exactly his name, but there was a Ukrainian player, today, not today, but the other day I saw there was a post saying he left Shakhtar, not Shakhtar, but a Russian. Who was it? I can't remember who exactly it was. It was a Russian team. Might have been Spartak or something. But he basically terminated his contract because obviously he's Ukrainian and he's playing for Russian team. So
I don't blame him.
And obviously he had the Premier League Zinchenko and Mili. I've forgotten Milichenko or something. He's obviously like they came together and stuff, and obviously it's been quite good seeing all the fans come together and stuff because
waving your Ukrainian flags and all that.
Yeah, it ain't great for what's happening. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, we want to keep this obviously this is football podcast, but you can't go without this week at all, past week or so, talking about this because it's just so unjust what's happening and seeing what it's affecting people, like families and stuff on the news being separated and people going to fight. And then, as I say, seeing what's happening with the sanctions, and it comes into football because of people like Roman Abramovich, people like that. But no, it's something to think about because we don't know how bad this is going to get. Obviously, but as I say,
it's only going to get worse, really. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I don't know how long this goes on for, but I don't know how long this will go on for, but it will still affect many, many dozens of people, if not thousands. But in a footballing sense, going back to, as I said, Roman Abramovich obviously sold, or he's selling Chelsea. So I don't know what's going to happen to my club, whether or not the jokes are that obviously we're going to be back to where we was. I don't know. I don't know. I'm quite worried about these owners. Like I said, I don't know. No, there's no one really coming in that will ever replace him who he cared the club like him. I mean, as I say, another thing he's done, I remember in lockdown, he had like Spurs like Daniel Levy and stuff like that, and Liverpool's owners like furloughing people, whereas he kept free hotels open for NHS staff. Everyone was still on full pay. Made players pay donations of their wages to charities, stuff like that. So I do think he's a good guy in like Chelsea fans' eyes because I think he's shown that obviously I think there is good in him, but then obviously we don't know. You get called out by people saying there's a front and stuff like that, and it's just because obviously he said he was going to donate because he said he wasn't going to Chelsea didn't have to pay him back for the loan because we owe him like 1.1.
Yeah, it's 1.5, I think.
Yeah, or something like that. But he's not going to make us repay it. And obviously all the Ukrainian the sale that goes through, he said he's going to donate to all the Ukrainian charities and things like that. So obviously,
it's all like all the civilians that are affected.
Families exactly.
And all that.
Yeah, the victims and things. So people are a bit like a skeptic, like, oh, it's just a front, a PR stunt to say like, oh, yeah, he's saying that, and then he'll give it to Putin, give all the money to Putin and Russia. But I don't know. I would say it's hard as a Chelsea fan because you like obviously we don't know what's going to happen to our club. But all I can say is, from my point of view, he's one of the best owners in the Premier League. If not, I'm saying the best, I think, because
as a United fan, I have to agree with that.
I don't think there's many owners that care as much as him. I mean, I heard a rumor that's saying that he didn't watch much football growing up, but I mean, even if he didn't, when he came into the club, he obviously started to fall in love with football. And he's not one of those owners that just turns up maybe at a final, like, or a big game. He was there like, I don't know, a normal, like, no disrespect, but something like, I don't know, Chelsea, West Brom, he would be there, 3 o'clock kickoff or those type of games. He wasn't just, like I say, to a Champions League final or an FA Cup final. He'd be there any game. So I think that cares, and especially a lot of the owners, like I'd say probably up there, probably Leicester owner, because I think he's there in a lot of games, obviously, but and obviously what they've done. But I think for him, for Roman to be at these type like every game, mostly every game that he can be, and putting this much money of his own into the club and not putting it into some other business that he might have, or like majority of it into the business is fantastic. But yeah, it's gonna be weird as I said for Chelsea fans and me not seeing Roman Abramovich being the owner of Chelsea. We'll have to see what happens in the next year or so. See who comes in, see who we buy. Because obviously, then again, you've got the thing of Marina Granskaya, who is, Chelsea board. She is the woman that deals with all of our transfers, and she has got some bargains before. So, or people that, the transfers where it will be, they say a price, she can get it down to make it even cheaper, which is just brilliant. Whereas if there's concerns that if Roman leaves, she's going to leave, and then if the
I saw a point that,
if people come in, who's gonna who's gonna come in and be a like sort of board within the board as well, which is another concern because we'll probably not get someone as good as Marina in.
No, you won't get anyone better than that.
So, I mean, she's got a reputation. I mean, as I heard in Germany, she's got a reputation called the Iron Lady because she's just so good at deals. So it's going to be weird to see what happens in the next few months or so, obviously. So we'll see.
There's going to be a lot of change there at Chelsea.
Yeah, we'll see. See if someone tries to move us, maybe, because Roman did try and move us, but I don't know. But I reckon we'll stay, and I reckon whoever comes in, if it is this vice, I don't think it's going to be, or this, I don't know how you say his name, but I reckon there's a lot of uncertainty at Chelsea, and it could affect the players. Who knows? Because as I say, Tuchel had the interviews, and he was getting wound up about being asked about the reports with Ukraine and Russia, and to be fair, rightly so, because he's not. He's not a politician.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
He's there to be a manager, not talk about politics and all that stuff. Yeah. He's there to talk about football.
Yeah.
And the team.
Yeah. So when and obviously he got sprung. Well, he said today, I saw comments saying he was like, what was he? He was saying like he can't see a Chelsea without Abramovich. Like he knows Chelsea. When he knows Chelsea, he knows Abramovich. He sees Abramovich. So
yeah,
I'd say it's a massive impact on football, the Premier, obviously. But I think most fans that are not Chelsea fans will be delighted. But we'll have to see what happens in the next few months. But moving on into other things, obviously Leeds sacked Marcelo Bielsa at the weekend after a 4-0 loss to Spurs.
Right choice, in my opinion.
Yeah, what do you make of that? What do you think? Good choice? I mean...
Right choice to sack him. The appointment, I don't know. I don't know much about him, really.
Yeah,
did he come from Salzburg?
He went to Salzburg and RB Salzburg. Done well in the Champions League because I remember he was getting credit for it at the time. With such young, he had Haaland in his squad. People like Minamino, who Liverpool obviously signed. And obviously they done quite well at Anfield. I remember the game they played. They lost 4-3, but they were like 3-0 down. And then they came back to 3-0. Haaland scoring in that and Minamino as well. And then obviously in the end, I think Salah poached the goal. I think it was a mistake by a defender or something, and Salah got the goal. But they got congratulated for how they played because they were playing really good with obviously not with young players, young talent. They were playing good football. They weren't just sitting back and hoping for draws or trying to pick up points. They were going for teams. So yeah, and then I think he's gone to RB. He went to RB Leipzig. I don't think he's done as well there as he did. I can't remember when it. I can't remember if he was. I don't think he was sacked. I might be wrong, but I don't know. I don't think he's done. No, I don't think he was sacked, but he wasn't done very well there. He didn't do very well there. I don't think they make it through the Champions League. Obviously, they're in Europa League now. But yeah, but obviously speaking on Bielsa, do you so obviously you feel it was the right choice? I mean, they like. Do you think the football was exciting, or do you think it was actually like? Do you think at this point where it's like, okay, it's getting a bit ridiculous now? Like, you need to actually maybe change it up a little bit because, I mean, they were getting battered like 4-0. They conceded like I think it was 12 goals this like the other week.
Yeah.
Like, obviously lost 4 or like 15 goals in 1 week. Like, they lost 4-2 to you Manchester United on that Sunday. Then they got lost 4 it was 6-0 to Liverpool in the week, and then they lost 4-0 to Spurs. So I mean, what do you think? Obviously, right choice. Do you think the football do you think if he changed the tactics, do you think he would have maybe obviously not got sacked and maybe it would have been something different?
Maybe. Things with Bielsa, he didn't have a plan B.
Yeah.
He stuck with those tactics, and it didn't really do anything with him. It didn't benefit him. The squad itself is such a small squad that he has. He's got 2-star players out, Calvin Phillips and Bamford.
Yeah.
They're 2 big misses. I think they missed them completely.
And obviously Cooper at the back, their captain. So
yeah, so I think injuries hasn't helped him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like they were saying on, obviously we've seen like most BT, BBC, they're like he has to start like changing it up even a little bit, or maybe just defenders. Like, I think I saw Michael Richards say on Sky or something like that, maybe just not disobey manager, but change it up a little bit. So because you got like they're so like sort of everyone pushes up, and so you have like the right backs, like the full backs pushing up. Obviously, it leaves lots of space in behind. So you have like, I don't know, one defender like maybe like Strauch at the back with someone, and they're on like, and obviously people who are counter attacking them, like Spurs did. They had like Kulusevski, Kane, Son counter attacking. They obviously like they're going to get outnumbered, and it was just easy to score against. I mean, the first goal was just Sessegnon running down, got past, I think, Ayling, just put the ball in. Doherty was at the back post, easy tapping for him. Then the second one, Llorente, questionable defending. I don't know what he was doing, but as I said, Kulusevski got out that corner, and got out that corner, and in the end managed to obviously score like brilliant finish. So score a good goal. So, but as I say, I think it was the right choice in the end, because I don't think Leeds were doing well. Like last season, I don't know what it was. Maybe it is the injuries, and obviously Bamford playing up front is obviously a big loss, as I say. Because I mean they're trying to cross the ball into Dan James, who's like 5 foot something, and obviously
his aerial threat is no good.
Yeah, so like, and obviously if you have like tall players, like obviously they had like Dyer heading out, or people like Romero, Dan James is not going to win a header against, or you shouldn't think he would win a header against Dyer or Romero. Yeah. So
that's where you would think Bielsa would change his tactics a little bit, instead of like crossing the ball in.
Yeah, or
which they still done,
or something like, just maybe staying back a little, maybe defending a bit more solid, maybe bring numbers, counter attack themselves, rather than bursting forward all the time and leaving lots and lots of gaps for people to, like, for the other team to counter attack. Like I said, Tottenham done it, sprinting, they just picked them apart, bang, 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 goal. Like 3 goals in the first half.
That's why I think they tire themselves out a little bit during the games, because they're always sprinting up, counter attacking, and then they lose the ball, whatever, and then they have to sprint all the way back again.
Yeah,
because they're all pushed up.
Yeah, because they got that what's it, murder ball he calls it. It's like, so obviously reports that, like, they sprint so hard and everything like that, but I mean, once all of them are up, and I don't think they're getting back. And obviously, I I think Melee's a decent keeper, but I do think he can do better on some things. Like in my opinion, like I don't think he's the greatest. I know he's young; he's like 21 or something. I know, or some. But I think he's got the most saves this season, but that is particularly because of their style of play.
Yeah,
Like,
Leeds face so many shots.
yeah. So, I mean, the top star is obviously going to be. So obviously Jesse Marsch coming in. We'll see. I mean, his style of play is quite attacking. I haven't watched much of Leipzig, but I know, as I said, in Salzburg, I think Leipzig is quite attacking. As I said, obviously it's in a different league, so the Bundesliga they probably are attacking. They are sort of one of the top of teams now, getting in Champions League spots mainly. And obviously from Salzburg, from the evidence, you see that Jesse Marsch is an attacking-minded manager. So I don't think he's like I don't know, he's probably like Sam and I sit back and sort of hope, but obviously,
yeah,
coming in the Prem, I don't know. Maybe it might be kind of similar, but maybe a couple of little tweaks here and there. Obviously, I say when they need their players back fit again, such as like I said, Bamford, we've got Cooper in the defence. He'll master that defence line. He might be able to obviously lead the back rather than so people getting back a lot more. Calvin Phillips in midfield as well, dominating the play. Like so he can spread some brilliant passes at times. So, obviously that's a big factor, and obviously, like you say, so we'll see how Jesse Marsch works because I do kind of feel a bit sorry for Bielsa. He has had to use most of the youth system. It's like the youngsters this season in the academy.
Yeah.
It's not been great, but I think it was right to go. I don't think his style was working. I mean, it was fun to watch last season. Everyone was enjoying it because Leeds are like 4-3 every game or something like that. But this season, they just aren't scoring themselves because they got big players out and aren't really creating that much. So it's just more like Leeds are conceding the goals they were conceding last season, but they don't have the
attacking threat.
Yeah, the attacking threat to score
as
many goals. Like I said, I think Rafinha is still the best player. I don't know if he might be statistically, but it probably isn't. He probably hasn't got many goals, but he does at their best player, I think, at times. Rodrigo as well. I think he's done all right. I think he's got a great left foot like Rafinha. I mean, the 2 shots against Everton a couple of weeks ago, so unlucky to be fair. Whipped them, one hit the bar, I think, and then one like hit the post as well. It was, to be fair, really unlucky for him. So. Yeah, I think that I don't know. Jesse Marsch I'm not too sure. I don't know what he's going to be. All I can say is from the evidence, I feel like he's going to be attacking, but maybe with something a bit different. You might see someone like Rodrigo used to play out front. So obviously Rodrigo's been in like sort of the cam position this season. I think many of he's been playing. So obviously at Valencia he played striker. So maybe Jesse Marsch might switch him back to striker or something like that, and you obviously have Rafinha on left and Dan on the right, and Dan James on the left. So yeah, and obviously you've got Forshaw like in the midfield, and then you've got a couple of youngsters, or maybe someone like Tyler Roberts could maybe come back in, start. Who knows? But I think it's going to be good to see what Marsch can do with Leeds, because obviously Leeds are in a relegation battle as well. You've got that big relegation battle with
got Everton in there.
Everton, Norwich,
Burnley.
Yeah, Norwich to about Everton, maybe even Brentford, because Brentford Brentford were like one in 8 or something like that. I think it's something like that. So you've got people that many teams, sorry, and obviously you need to win games. So I think Jesse Marsch has got a big job on his hands, really. So, because I think Norwich are down. Obviously, speaking of the relegation battle, I'd say my predictions, I think Norwich are down. Personally, I mean, Dean Smith's doing okay with them, but they're still like losing points where they probably need to start picking up maybe at least draws, like Southampton game. Didn't create anything at all, really.
It's still championship quality.
Yeah,
Norwich.
So obviously, like Southampton dominated. I know Southampton are on like a good run at the moment, but just Norwich had no. It wasn't like Norwich. They gave Norwich even a couple. I don't remember Norwich even really getting a sniff at goal, really a shot on goal. So yeah, they're up down. In my opinion, I think Watford watched them. They did against Stu. They didn't even look like they could bloody pass the ball to together. Some of those passes were awful. Like
And they managed to get a point out of it somehow.
Yeah. Great. Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, and Roy Hodgson, I don't know why they appoint him.
Wrong move, really.
I don't see it.
He's more of a defensive coach, really. Like he's not really attacking minded.
Yeah,
should we say?
And he gets dominated a lot, like Palace. I saw a lot of games got dominated. Really, like, I mean, there's times at home where he done well at Palace. I remember them having good spells and dominating. Normally, sometimes against big teams, but I think I mean, they won 1-0 at Villa, but that's his only win, I think. I mean, love as well in the other weeks. So obviously, they drew at United 0-0, but then obviously they got smashed 4-1 at home by Palace. So
they're so inconsistent, mate.
Yeah, I think I think they're down. Like I don't think they're going to do well unless there's like a massive final day sort of final day scrap, if you like, because although that would be brilliant, because I think we've got one of the best relegation battles for a long time in the Prem. Or if not, it might be the best, because I don't remember seeing this many teams in a relegation battle so close to each other. You might have the 3 teams in the relegation and maybe 1 above, but you've got, I'd say, like I said, to Brentford. Like Brentford are slowly, they've lost again to Newcastle. Newcastle are about up to 14th now. Eddie Howe's doing a decent job, I think, even though Trippier's out injured. I think they're climbing up table. They'll probably be all right, especially with the new owners. Like if they've brought in a few transfers, they'll be all right next season. In the summer, I don't know how much they're going to spend, but it's probably going to be scary numbers.
Yeah.
So I think they're okay for now, unless they suddenly just drop off like again how they were doing, but I don't think they will. Everton, Lampard, he got very unlucky. Speaking of Lampard, and that the last game they played, that handball, unjust,
ridiculous.
I mean, I have to say, I think everyone knew. Michael Richards is a City fan. He knew, and the City fans probably knew. They just obviously they'll be happy to get away with it. But I mean, I don't know how they didn't give it. I mean, at first you might think, oh, he might be like trying to chest, but if he's got the ball's like
it's like his arms are out.
Yeah, his arms like that. If he's like hit him there, how is that not a pen?
It's clear as stage, really.
And let's say that probably, if they obviously score, that gives them a point, and that's something. And that's also in the title race as well.
Yeah,
rather than 3 points, we'll see. Like it's mental, guys. As Lampard said, the 3-year-old could work that out. His 3-year-old daughter at home. Could have told you that's handball. So I don't know. VAR is, since it's come in, it's not been good. I don't think that's one of the big debates of the season. Really, past couple since it came in 2019, 20, it has been so inconsistent. In the first season it came in, there was problems because it literally was like, it took about 5-10 minutes to, when they had the penalty decisions, for example, or a red card, it was taking forever. And at that point, the rest didn't even think about using the screen pitch side monitor to go and have a look, which, they were just relying on people in the VAR, and they didn't even give themselves like a chance to go over and give themselves an opinion of their own.
There wasn't any point of that screen being there, really.
Yeah. So, I mean, with obviously that, and then last season, you had those ridiculous, shitty handball rules coming in, where like you'd see like the players would be about 2 centimeters away from each other, and if it hits your hand like and it's sort of down by your side, you're it's given as a penalty anyway. It's like someone just could kick the ball against your hand on purpose if they tried and probably get a penalty out of it. Obviously, if it's in the penalty area, but because I remember I remember one with Wan-Bissaka. There was one with Eric Dyer. Just like, what are they supposed to do with their arms? And
Yeah.
so unjust.
It's also with the offsides as well.
Yeah.
Some with the armpit, is there?
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. The armpits.
Ridiculous.
Like, and toenails. Like, I remember one clearly was when the first season got introduced was, I think it was Sheffield United. They scored an equaliser and it was against Spurs, and it was like literally some person's toenail. I can't remember who, some geezer's toenail, and it was literally like, how can you give that as an offside?
Yeah.
He's not got a proper advantage at all with that. Nowhere near an advantage. I mean, basically level. But some of the officiating is just on a level is just so poor. Like, for the best league in the world, you want to have like good refs, good officials, and most of them are just like fucking shit after time.
Yeah.
I mean,
for instance, Lukaku won in the cup final, offside.
Yeah.
Was it because of his arm where he was pointing where he wanted the ball?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can't score with your arm, can you? So.
I know. So I don't really get how that's like. I don't know whether it was the angle, but from that angle, that looked completely onside. People can say just fan bias, but to me, it looked like onside, especially fucking the amount of times they were offside. The one time he was probably onside, he had the argument that, gets given offside again. Like, but I mean, as I say, the clearest day, that Rodri handball. I mean, I don't know how you don't give it. It was just, I don't know. It was just terrible. As I said, though, going back to it, the title race that's impacting the title race. And as well, like this season, I think since, I don't know how City have slipped like a 13-point lead. Obviously, we were second, then Liverpool have climbed up, but Liverpool have obviously climbed up the table and everything. But City have they were 13 points clear. Like, I don't know how they've managed to. I know they're on 6 points, but I don't know. To me, that just seems like quite a bit of a bottle, in my opinion. I don't know how they managed to slip. Obviously, this is the Prem, so I guess you can never, as managers will learn, as Pep knows, he said multiple times, although you could say to Pep that Pep could beat someone 9-0 and he'd say they were unbelievable. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be it's quite tight this season with like the relegation battle's tough, and you've got the top 4 race.
Yeah. I mean, the title would have been a 3-horse race, but Chelsea have a curse of slipping up in December time.
Yeah. I mean, we have this December curse. I don't know what it is, but if someone can get us through it, I mean, it'd be nice because then we'd actually have a chance of winning the title for the season and keeping up with at least trying to keep up with City and Liverpool. I mean, now we're like 13 points from them or 10 points away from them, so it's bad. And obviously, City and Liverpool are going to sort of dominate the Premier League, really, I think, for a few seasons now. But like this is going to be very close in everything. I'm looking at, you've got the title race, and they've got to play each other still at the Etihad in like sometime April, things like the 10th or something. And then obviously you've got the top 4 race. You've got like United, Spurs, Arsenal,
West Ham,
maybe even, maybe not. Who's in 8th or like 7th?
Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves. That's it. That's what I'm thinking of. Actually, yeah. Sorry, Wolves are doing their. Although they've lost a couple of games now, like they lost to a crucial game against West Ham Sunday. But I mean, it's going to be
a game in hand or someone though, or something like that.
I think so. Yeah. But obviously they've lost. Well, they've lost two big battles actually, because like Arsenal 2-1, they just scored conceded 95th minute, and then obviously they lost to West Ham 1-0. So that's a big blow on their rivals, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah,
It's hard to tell.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be one heck of a race for everything. I personally do think though, my predictions will be, I think Norwich for the relegation. I think it's going to be Norwich, Watford, and I do think Burnley will go down. I know they got a couple of results, although they lost to Leicester a couple of days ago, but I do think they are going to go down. My top four would be probably the person who's going to get fourth spot. I think will be. Ooh, hello. Ooh. United. I think it's out of United, West Ham, and Arsenal. I think it's going to be out of them three.
I have a slight feeling Arsenal might clinch it.
I don't know what. Yeah, I feel like I think Arsenal would. They're just they're that type of team where they probably will.
It really depends who's got who at the end of the season. Really, like I reckon it will come down to the final game of the season.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not too sure who's got like. Well, see, this month you've got some really big fixtures. You've got the Manchester derby this Sunday. Yeah,
it's this Sunday.
This Sunday. And then you've got obviously in the Champions League, you've got Madrid, Atletico Madrid, so you've got to finish off that tie. You've got Spurs as well. So
I think it was Spurs.
So that's another like sort of rival, because if obviously Spurs have got a few games out, but they've lost like a few. So
I want to say we've got to play Liverpool as well.
Yeah, yeah. Have you got? You ain't got. Yeah, you've got them this month, haven't you? As well, I think. Let me double check. Let me double check, because I think you've got, like I said, you've got some really like
a really hard month.
Yeah, so you've got so you've got City this Sunday. Then I think when it wants to load. You've got Spurs after that. Then you've got, is that international break or is that? Why are you not on here? Oh, the next game you've got is Liverpool, but it does say date to be confirmed. So yeah, you've got like you have Liverpool this month, and yeah. So you've got like some Spurs, City, Liverpool in this month. Like that is going to be really tough for you. Yeah, that is going to be so tough for you. If you get through that, I mean,
not confident at all.
But then again, you're the type of team that will get through that. So I don't. But then
we're the type of team you struggle against the small teams, but we're capable of being a big team, big teams.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, I think obviously, yeah, you and Arsenal. I think West Ham might just drop out again. I don't think West Ham will go, especially.
Yeah, I don't think it's got the Europa League campaign as well.
Yeah,
I don't think they've actually got. If Antonio is injured, then they're screwed because they haven't got a backup striker. They've only got Antonio.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, what's it? Vlasic, but he just doesn't look that great, I don't think. But yeah, they've got, like I said, I think it's gonna be out of you and Arsenal, unless Spurs do a sneaky, or same with Wolves. Because West Ham are in there, but as I said, I think West Ham, with their limited squad and their Europa League games, if they're doing well in Europa League, which they might want to do, like that could be a route for them in the Champions League anyway. Rather than, I know they obviously want to win league games and stuff, keep their pace, but they might try and just go all out for Europa League as well. So if they're fighting on both those fronts, then I think, yeah, they might. I think they might drop off from that. So I think it's. I personally think it's out of view in Arsenal. I don't know who's going to get it. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm pretty sure Arsenal got 2 games in hand.
Yeah, it's all about the games in hand, really, isn't it? They've got one against us, so we need to win because as well, you're only a couple points. But if you win your like next game, you're like 1 point behind us. But we need to win to obviously make sure that we are not in this race. So
yeah,
but we'll see. It's gonna be a good end to the season, I think. But right, guys, I think that is going to be the end of the podcast. Obviously, thank you, Joe, for coming on. Me and Joe are going to be on there. We'll probably have weekly podcasts. So we'll be, as I said, we'll be discussing previews, reviews to Champions League games. Obviously, we've got them coming up this month now. Things like that. And obviously all the big news stories of the week and stuff. But yeah, subscribe. Cheers.